All right, so we're here, 40 I Amped, Season 2, Episode 2. And we're here with...
Oh, it's the Don Treasy, Don the Don Wavy, whatever you like to call me. You know what it is, though.
So we're here at Digital Factory. I gotta ask, like, what does this space mean for you in terms of creating?
That's actually a real deep question because it's been everything to me, honestly. This is where I started this first photo shoot. I would say first photo I taken. Yeah, man, everything, literally everything. The people I've met, like Kev, all of them came through here. People I've traveled to New York, people I've experienced a lot of life with through this space. So this space is like infinitely valuable. I'll always value it. I'm probably gonna be here for a long ass fucking time.
So yeah, this space is obvious. It means a lot to you. And you mentioned that you did your first shoot here.
Yep.
So I want to ask, what did you start on? I know we was having a conversation about
All right, so I was actually a college modeling team. I'm actually a board member now, Models of Distinction. Shout out MOD. All right, so my first photo shoot was this like crazy like colored paint shoot where I was painted yellow and shit. Like that was that. But nah, first shoot was wild, colorful stuff. It was actually a promo shoot for our show, my first modeling show. So like that kind of just ties it all together type of thing, you know. And yeah, that was my first. That was incredible.
Yeah.
That was incredible. People loved that. People lived for it.
So,
And that's really reminiscent. I was 18. Time flies, man.
So it started with modeling, or did it start with photography?
So it started with modeling actually, and the way I kind of like navigated into photography was actually like kind of getting like sick of modeling, tired of modeling. I was doing a show in New York, my first New York Fashion Week 2022 in February. So 2 years ago. Damn, 2 years ago. I did a show, got casted, went back for like a second fitting. Designer was like, you know, acting strange. You know how industry shit is, and I just decided that like that's not what I wanted to like align myself with, and I kind of wanted to just take my own path with it. So picked up a film camera off of eBay, $8. And I was just shooting off of that. I was shooting off that for a little hot minute because I couldn't afford a DSLR. You know how college get. I ain't had no money. And I already say, yeah, summertime, picked up my first camera, which is actually, people don't know, I was shooting on an A7 II for a little minute. And then I picked up, finally, my lo and behold baby right here, 5D Mark IV, Team Canon all the way, you know.
So I'd like to ask, coming from me, like film is wonderful.
Yeah.
How did that kind of impact your creative process starting out?
Okay, so I felt like I had to be more precise. I felt like I had to be more movement. Of course, I didn't have like a bunch of lenses I could switch over to create my own or to like ease that process. So I was doing a lot of footwork. It forced me to learn composition really well. It forced me to have a better understanding of like the elements of photography, like aperture, all the nerdy stuff. Because like you only get a certain amount of shot, and each shot costs money. So I'll say that really like played into me understanding fundamentals, me like understanding composition and just all like stuff that they would be teaching in school and stuff that you can necessarily like navigate around when you're on digital, when you're going straight to digital. Yeah. So I recommend everybody film first.
You mentioned that modeling came first. And so what I've seen from looking at your pictures is there's this sort of style that you kind of have with things you do. There's a lot of motion. It's very expressive. Where did that come from? Like, when you pick up a camera, what's your move? You know what I'm saying? What do you do?
My first thing is to picture a moment. I always say moments are live. Things are happening. People are moving. Like I don't believe photography should just be limited to just still motion. It's just stills. Like I feel like moments need to be captured and I always say that's how I express. I feel like I'll tell you a story. My first time in New York, I looked up and I saw everything just happening and everything. It was just overwhelming, but it was like really stimulating, and it reminded me of exactly like what I wanted to feel, and I've always been chasing that feeling. like seeing New York moving back and forth, everybody moving. So I think that's where a lot of that comes from. And honestly, music as well. I feel like hip hop is bustling. It's real rugged. It's gritty. It's just motion. Everything is motion. So that's really where a lot of that comes from.
I kind of want to build a timeline.
Yeah.
So was that when was your first time in New York in terms of
So
to work?
So as like modeling, my first time 2021, October 2021, it was actually just a collab shoot with a photographer I had met while he was down here. Decided to go up to New York for the day, just catch a vibe, have fun. Nothing too serious, but that was really that was inspiring to see. And then of course I decided to take modeling a little more seriously and step into that realm that February the following year. And of course, I love the city. I'm a huge fashion person. I don't know if you can tell right now I'm chilling up, but I'm a huge fashion person, so I'm always up there thrifting pieces. I don't really say thrifting pieces, finding things to do. Just being involved in that community up there is probably, yeah.
So that's good to know. When I think of modeling, I do go back to that. When I think of modeling, I do kind of, my mind goes to kind of the posing and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you think that insight has helped you in photography?
Facts. That's 100%. No, I think that's what differs me from a lot of photographers. A lot of photographers haven't been in front of a camera or aren't comfortable in front of a camera, and I think me being able to show you precisely how I want you to capture my vision or help you capture yours is what makes me kind of stand out from the rest. There's times I was just over there shooting for a hoodlum, say a brand I style for, and I'm sitting here, I'm getting into the poses. I don't have the clothes on, but they can see me and they can imagine it and they can, picture it a little better. I think that's actually vital. It's vital for communication because I think communication is one of the most important parts of being a photographer. So.
So personally wise, right? Mm-hmm. That type of communication that you talk about between model and photographer, mm-hmm. right? Do you ever find that there's obstacles in that?
Obstacles as in like communication, like a barrier or a lack of understanding. I've seen it, and it often comes in the form with models, particularly female models, just being generally uncomfortable. And I've noticed that a lot with photographers that I've witnessed or I've worked around or even befriended before. And I think it's something of course they wouldn't notice to pick up on, but body language, all sorts of stuff like that is really important when you're nonverbal communication is probably the most important factor in helping with posing or helping guide a shoot. Because honestly, as a photographer, the model can only provide so much. You have to be a leader. You have to direct, honestly.
Yeah. So we cover photography. We're definitely gonna jump back to photography.
Of course.
But I do want to talk about now your creative process. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what makes you, you know what I'm saying?
That drives me.
Feeling, that drive, that.
Dang, I feel like I'm a learner. At the end of the day, I'm a learner. If there's anything, I'll be the first to admit I don't know everything. I wish I did, but I don't know everything. But the challenge to attain new knowledge, the challenge to maybe discover something I haven't before when it comes to photography is probably the most exciting part. I'm sitting there just testing random lighting and stuff like that, just having fun with it and just seeing what I can make of it. And I think that's what really excites me when I can execute something that I wasn't even planning or something brand new that I've never even thought of or a new idea. So that's what really drives me. I'll say, of course, I'm a little more self-motivated. I don't really like to feed into like the hater, like I'm better than all my haters type of thing. But like I already say, like doubt definitely is a motivator. Like I've been doubted, so I already say we kind of, you know, I already say turn change into champagne. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Turn pain into champagne type thing. So.
So you talk about that doubt. Does it ever come from inside? You know what I mean? When you're doing what you do, like, and
There
how
was a
does
moment.
that? I don't know. Like, how does that manifest? Like, how do you deal with it? How do you work with it?
So I'll say, when it comes to photography, I've always tried to like exude confidence, because if you're not confident in your own product, models aren't confident, X, Y, and Z. But I'll say there was a moment in time, bookings were slow, like money wasn't coming in the way I wanted it to, and I wasn't shooting enough. I just wasn't shooting enough, and I didn't feel inspired. And then I started to doubt myself. But I honestly, I turned to other mediums of art. I love to jump. I love to jump back and forth through different mediums of art. So I'm also a poet. So I love writing. I have a big ass section, or like one of those little Instagram like story circle things of like poetry I've written over time, just kind of like feeding into what I'm feeling at the time, giving some insight, maybe to inspire myself into something new. Maybe I look back at it and I'm able to, you know, visualize something based off the words I've written. So I just express myself in different ways, you know.
Yeah, multidisciplinary.
You know, shit, if you want to call it that, man. Maybe, photography, poetry book coming soon, maybe. You know what I'm saying? That's maybe something in the works.
Yeah. What else is in your vision in terms of like where you plan to move forward?
Like I moved from finance to marketing recently, so we're kind of working on like building like an identity in terms of like branding. I'm learning to like understand like brand identity and stuff like that, and kind of just I want to be able to commercialize my art while still keeping the integrity of it. So that's probably the biggest next step, or like the most direct next step. And of course, working with Hoodlum, I say we're kind of gonna like re-navigate from DC to LA soon. So that's the next. That's like the big next step. And of course, graduating college. You know, damn, that's coming up sooner than I was ready for. Yeah. So like, life is about to get real. It's already real now, but you know, it only gets realer from now. Well, what about you, man?
Shoot.
All right. Damn, got him on the spot.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to keep this one way more about you for sure. This is about you, but shoot, I mean, photography is a big thing for me. I'm really big on the project right now. You know, taking it from just okay, we're gonna go and shoot here to how can we make this a multi-step process, you know, and how can we execute it very well, you know, past, you know, and I want you to talk, how do you feel about execution?
Oh my gosh, like, cause this is something I've been like really like focusing on recently. I already say, you see over there, we got a whole team now, like we're working. I was always like a lone wolf. I wasn't much of a collaborator when it came to much of anything throughout my life. Like, I don't know, maybe because I wasn't getting in too close with people. I was hopping around a lot. I even went to like boarding school. So I was just comfortable being in solitude. But now, I would say art is a collaborative process. And I think a lot of other artists deserve a lot of shine. And I think with them, and like with what I can bring, I think we can make something beautiful. Even like actually my last shoot, I don't know if you saw like that hotel set, like that whole set. That was a team of like 10, 12 people, plus like my lighting assistant, shout out Leah, just to make that shoot happen. And like God bless that I had all of them for it. We got another project soon, like pushing like 16, 17 people. Like I'm getting like comfortable with the idea of collaboration and like taking the load off of yourself. That's something I really want to emphasize. And of course, you don't want to compromise your vision in that, but just aligning yourself with like-minded people makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. So how have you taken that? Because teamwork is important, and I want to get into that. But how is that directive role for you? What does that look like?
All right, so I think that's a great question. I start out writing. Writing is the most important part. Getting your ideas on paper, getting feedback from people that like prospects that you want possibly to help your vision. Cause like I already say, well, I'm only one mind. I already say, as great as I think my mind is, sometimes it's a little tunnel vision. So of course, like I have other people here to open up my mind and give me suggestions and critiques, all sorts of stuff like that. And then we kind of move into like the planning phase. I actually run a channel now where we're like, I run castings. I run up through castings. Like we up to 200 some models now in there. So I already say we have a good picking. So I kind of, that's step one is like writing. Step two, kind of just planning, understanding, location hunting, and then casting. And then final team is set, dates are set, day of, I think it's underrated how important like eating well, taking care of your body, like stuff is when it comes to like being on set. Because I plan like either modeling or photography. I've been on set for 10 plus hours before, and it gets draining, and you kind of have to like have your wits together. And while it's better to have a team there, at the end of the day, you gotta work with what's you, bro.
Yeah. So directing for you is big about, for one, I'm saying making sure you're centered. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then reaching into that teamwork.
Yeah. I always say try and pouring into your people. Of course, checking on their psyche as well. As a director, I think that's one of the most important things. There are times where as a photographer, one of my earliest mistakes was just being too focused on like maybe lighting or maybe just, and not like kind of checking in on my model, making sure they're good, making sure that I'm understanding where they're coming from. Maybe some way they can help align with my vision, or maybe they can create a whole new vision that I wasn't even thinking about. So pouring into the people that you're working with as well as a director is totally important.
Yeah. I think that type of like compassion is important in art.
Facts. No, law. It's law actually. Like, I don't think you can make effective art without compassion, because at the end of the day, this is for other people to consume. So you have to understand what they're feeling. You have to understand what other people are feeling. You have to understand what other people are feeling to create effective art. I think that's more than law. It's actually like one of the 10 Commandments type shit. Yeah.
Do you have anything else on your 10 Commandments of creativity?
Oh shit! Yeah, you put me on this. That's a dope question. Damn.
You don't have to do the whole list.
The whole list, but I'll say investing, whether it comes to set design, be willing. I'm going to say money comes and goes, but I'm going to say art is forever. So properly investing, whether it be equipment, whether it be people, you got to be willing to invest. So another thing, I already talked about collaboration. I talked about pouring into people. Talked about investing. Yeah. Those are some of my most important ones. So I say maybe I'll come up with a list of those soon. That's a content idea. You give me ideas now. I'm liking that.
How we feeling?
No, we live. I say, speaking of commandments, I say relationship with God. I say relationship with God. I've been improving that a ton, and it's been helping. I'm not gonna lie. Like I kind of lean on him for a lot of like personal, like self motivation. Like he's been, I would give it a couple years ago. I was like, faith was a little rocky. I was trying to work some stuff out, personal stuff out, man. I didn't say believing in him has been essential for like putting faith in myself. I didn't say I've been kind of like taking off the pressure on myself like day to day, and I'm letting him handle it because I know he got me. So I'll say that's another important thing for me, at least.
Yeah, I think it's very important to kind of lean on people, God, whatever. Just because this is not a one man game.
It's yeah. I said we talk. Yeah. No, it's facts. Again, artist collaborative. So
Yeah. I guess.
Talk about
What you got planned rest of this year?
rest of this year.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Project coming next month. Project. We're in the stages. We're actually in the casting stage. So models, we're looking. So hopefully y'all seeing. I don't know who's seeing this, but we're looking. I can't reveal too much about what's planned, but just know something. I say it's gonna be real gritty, real indicative of the playlist that we about to talk about soon. Yeah, I already say so that. I already say hope we're praying on a few internships. I already say, of course, marketing and stuff like that. My big one. I already say I don't know when it's coming out. Maybe I'll have it. Maybe I won't by the time we get it done. Hopefully with Netflix. Acting has been like one of those things that's been kind of like low key about me, and people don't really know. But I've done a few things. Like I was in We Own This City, HBO on Max now, not even HBO no more. And then that was dope. That was dope. Small role. I was a bartender, strip club. It was a long day. I recently did Rustin. That just came out on Netflix. So catch me in the end of that movie too. Let me shave my beard for that. That was it. All right. Oh, you military though. You all right, man. You all right. That ain't nothing. But
let me ask, because we didn't explore that acting. Is that a newer space for you, or?
Actually, I touched acting before I touched modeling. I've always, of course, your parents say you're handsome and stuff like that, but I always say once other people start to get into it or start to buy into you as like a creative or as something, as just somebody to know, I think you can start to expand upon that and you get the confidence to go into like new fields. And honestly, that was my first time being on a set. I had high school. I was a true finance. I was a true finance guy. I was finance club. I was investing club. I was literally running. I was running our org. I was running our mini org. I was interning in the finance office at the Hershey company. That was I was true to that. And I don't know. After high school, I kind of just wanted something else for myself. So I tried that out. I ended up people ended up messing with me on set so much they gave me they upped my scene, up the pay too. So it was always a blessing. But I just took that as a sign that maybe this arts space, this creative space is something for you. Yeah.
So I take it that you found many different loves in this space that you've entered.
Yeah. No, I love it. I say anything art I can appreciate. I say one art that I wish I could be good at so bad that I have horrible handwriting, so it's never gonna happen. Painting. I'm already left-handed, so painting is damn near impossible. Holding the camera, this is already weird. I'm a lefty. I tried so bad to do some weird shit with this. And it wasn't working, so I just had to force myself to get comfortable with the right. But painting, I have an unprecedented level of respect for painters or any traditional mediums of art. Those are people that have to pour 200 plus hours into one piece for it to be as polished and as clean as people want. And honestly, I follow a lot of painters, and that's where I get a lot of my inspo from as well. Painters recently, actually, that recent shoot, I did a recent photo shoot with a model, Jeremiah. he did like this motion, like blur type of thing. I was really inspired by just like the idea of painting and creating motion in photos through like just dragging and like paint strokes. That's really what that came from for me. So painting is always gonna be like top tier medium. So I wish I could be good at it. I wish I was good.
Maybe one day. I think we covered a lot. That was great. Do you have any shout outs, anything, any last comments? Anything?
I don't know. Shout out MOD. Shout out Dontrell. I don't know where he at. He might have left already. Shout out Hoodlum. God bless Hoodlum for giving me the platform. Say shout out Digital Factory, of course, for giving me the space. Growing me as an artist in this space, or giving me the room to do so. Shout out Kev, bro. He really took me at when I was first starting, bro. I was begging him, let me get up in here. And he took me in, and he let me grow. He gave me the room to grow. So God bless him. I'm gonna say God bless my folks too, of course. I'm gonna say they've poured into everything I do. They are the biggest and my biggest fans and enablers. Like I'll say I want to do some random stuff like dye my hair platinum, and they were like, yes, please do it. And it was like, why not? And I think that has just emboldened me with the confidence to just attack any and everything.
Yeah, it's fire. Well, that closes out the episode.
Good.
I guess we'll get to that playlist. Can you describe your playlist for us?
So I come from a lot of places. My art is really dreamy, but my day-to-day feels very gritty. I'm an inner city kid at heart, so kind of boom bap hip hop, like rough beats, but soul samples. So you'll catch a lot of artists. Of course Griselda, of course Mike, Earl. But like we'll also get into the dreamier stuff like the Daniel Caesars, the Cleo Souls, all sorts of like alt stuff. So I think it's a real clash, but like at the end of the day you'll be able to find like where all of that blends in and how you can see it in me as an artist and as a fashion person. I won't say influencer. I gave that up a while ago. But yeah.
Cool. Dope.
Amen. Bless it. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
Amen.
This is fire.
Of course, I appreciate that, dog.